locks tight. Party till midnight. Then we are what?
Hello, welcome. I'm Dave Cirino, and this is Studio Talk, Episode 3. It's just me today, and a few questions came into my inbox that I wanted to address regarding the recording process um, and things along those lines. I also received some great news, actually. Got an email that my my single "Seduction" from our new album that we've been working on, Love Motion Equinox, that we just put out. It's just been picked up by the New York Times, um, spring 2023 playlist. So they chose our song "Seduction," and it's now available on Spotify as a playlist to listen to for spring of 2023. So I thought that was really cool when I received that email. It was just so random. Like we didn't submit to New York Times or anything. And he said, I guess someone just heard the song from New York Times, thought it was cool, and put it on their playlist. And it's really cool. And I wanted to discuss some of the equipment that I use to make my music in the past and also currently with the new album, and maybe just help out some artists out there who are looking to look for affordable gear that can help them get the professional sound. Um, I just thought it was very interesting. Like I'm trying to be completely transparent. When I when I set out to start recording and have this recording career as an independent artist, I kind of made it like a mission of mine to um, like test myself against other, I guess, the professionals who were out there signed with major labels, and I really wanted to like challenge myself to see if I could um, build a studio that outputted a sound um, that did sound professional, use equipment that was affordable to me, that could rival some of the equipment that's been used in $1 million studios, um, high end microphones, high end interfaces, and sound cards. What was on the market um, that was available to me that would allow me a professional sound. Um, and I took that challenge. I took that challenge, and I took it seriously, and I really wanted to test myself and test it. And I don't really talk about this a lot, but I kind of wanted to just be transparent today. And just like some of the successes that we had is just truly amazing. Just um, the sync placements, and then even just getting the New York Times off the new album. I just think it was just incredible, and I just feel like I need to just kind of share some techniques and some things that I've used to help me reach that pro sound. So hang in there with me, folks. Let's get in. Let's get into it.
Seduction is what you're doing to me.
Do the questions first, or yeah, you know what? There's only three questions, so let me get into the questions. Three questions, and then we'll kind of get into the equipment that I've used over the years and recently with the new project Love Motion Equinox. Okay, question number one that came in was, okay, do you recommend an all DIY approach, or should I hire out in recording my project? That's a good question. That's a good question. Um, well, as I just mentioned, I kind of answered it a little bit in my intro, but me personally, I set out to um I did the whole DIY approach myself. I wanted to see I wanted to test myself to see how far I could go. Um the reason why I did that is because when I first started making music, recording music in the studio, many years ago, I I would always I would pay for studio time, and I would remember myself like I got a watch on or whatever. Say the price may have been 60 bucks, $65 an hour or something like that. And I would always like I would bring my keyboard because I produce all my music. And I brought my Yamaha motif sitting right here. And at that time I was actually composing the tracks in the keyboard. So, it may take like an hour to dump everything into the studio. And then I would have to sing my songs in the studio after I dumped all the music. And I would just remember like just like looking at the clock, looking at my watch, looking at the engineer's clock and be like, damn, okay, $60 an hour. Okay, that's I've been here for 3 hours. Okay, I owe him such and such amount of money for studio time. And you know, I was like, at that time, like when you're a little bit strapped for money, you're always what you're kind of penny pinching. Like, okay, I brought 200 bucks with me or 300 bucks with me to lay down one song, and that's all I have for that song. And then I just said, I kind of got tired of like watching the clock, and I just got tired of it, and I was like, I want to build my own studio, uh, and not watch the clock and take my time and making my music, singing, doing my harmonies, doing whatever I do on my songs. That could take me 7 hours. You know what I mean? And I did I did it all out. Some people don't have the time or don't want to do that. So on that scenario, I would say go ahead and hire out people that you trust. If you don't make your own music, or you don't write your own songs, things of that nature, you may want to look into hiring out like a producer to help you or a songwriter to help you. And there's plenty of resources out there that can help you with that. So it really depends on your situation, on your scenario, on your different scenarios. Like, are you a person who writes his own music, makes her own um, tracks, writes her own songs, and you're kind of like, you do things yourself, then I would say DIY all the way. If you're not that type, then I would say, yeah, definitely hire out if you can. Yeah, so that's my answer. Good question. Thank you. All right. So question number two. Let's see. Dave, my budget is small. What affordable gear can I purchase to give me professional results? Ha. You know what? I'm gonna move that question to question three because that's gonna lead into what I was talking about before with some of my gear recommendations. So I'll move that to question number two. I mean question number three. So the next question that came in is, do you have any books you could recommend to help me learn more about recording and mixing my music? That is an excellent question. Yes. When I first started, I'm literally pulling this up as we speak, like on the fly. Um, I want to make sure I got the right name. The Mixing Engineers Handbook. I got it was the Mixing Engineers Handbook and the Mastering Engineers Handbook. Um, I recommend those two books. Those two books helped me enormously. I wanted to mention that I also, you know, when I'm like I said, I'm a do-it-yourselfer. So I all my projects I mixed myself, and that's going to be in our next episode with my brother, where we talk about that process. But I it wasn't pretty in the beginning. Definitely wasn't pretty in the beginning. Um, but I read these books, the Mixing Engineer's Handbook and the Mastering Engineer's Handbook, and it gave me great insight uh, on the process. And I just want to get the author for you guys. It's Bobby O. Owsinski, Bobby Owsinski. Yeah, that was that's the person who created this, who did the book. So let me just make sure that's accurate here. Yeah, Bobby Owsinski. Owsinski. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Yeah, so I did the Mixing Engineer's Handbook, Mastering Engineer's Handbook, helped me enormously. I record with Logic Pro. Um, and I'm one of them guys where I don't really upgrade. So I have, I'm not even sure what version is on now, but I have an older version of Logic Pro. When I first got it, I literally read the entire manual. And that sounds maybe a little crazy, but I read the entire manual. It was 1,000 pages. It was more than, it was like 1,000. I don't remember. It was like almost 1,100 pages. When I first started, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first started, completely transparent. When I first started, we was after I decided to pay for did not to pay for studio time, and I'm just doing it myself. I had this program called, I think it was called eMagics, and it was it was not great. It was not good at all. The first couple mixes was just terrible. So then we got the program, we got Logic, and I sat there and I read the manual, and I learned how to use Logic, and I learned not only that, just like it just really, I don't know, prepped me. It just taught me, just reading the manual itself, how to approach this thing. You know what I mean? And then, of course, I did go to 8 month certification, sound engineering certification program in New York City. I did that because I wanted to be legit. I wanted to make sure that I'm just not, you know, recording and mixing and mastering and just like whatever. I'm putting it out there because if I wanted to, if I was going to compete with the professionals, I said to myself, I need to take this seriously, take this craft seriously, learn it the right way. So I did get certified as a sound engineer, and on top of that, I was reading those books, the Mixing Engineer's Handbook, the Mastering Engineer's Handbook. I read the manual of the DAW I was using, and that's it, man. And then there's Michael Jackson had an engineer. He worked with Quincy Jones, Bruce Spadine, um, who wrote a book as well. He wrote, I think, two or three books, and I have I bought the both. I bought his books, all his books that he wrote about. Um, he talks about mixing and the process. I learned, and I in Love Motion Equinox, this is my newest project. I learned so much from just reading his books, Bruce Swiddy. So I would recommend that. Long answer, but listen, this is what it's about, man. You know, this is what it's about. I have never found a independent person like who gave me nuggets and jewels when I was trying to do this, and I really hope that you take the time to just sit down and listen and watch. You know what I mean? And learn as much as you can from me because I've been through everything, literally everything. Okay, so right, so the last question, which leads me into what I was going to talk about a little bit more, is Dave, my budget is small. What affordable gear can I purchase to give me professional results? Great question. So I wanted to talk about that actually. Um, you know, I've discussed, you guys have seen in my archives everything about my how-to tutorial, so I'm not going to go into all that. You guys know that already. But I would say, once you got yourself a good computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC, doesn't really matter nowadays. You have to get a really good audio interface. That's what um, I started off. My first interface was the Personas Firebox. Okay, and it was an upgrade from what I was using like prior to that. But then I didn't really like the sound. It wasn't giving me what I wanted. And then so after many uh tedious hours and of research, I came across the first interface that I would recommend that I got, which is years ago. They upgraded it so much, is the Apogee Duet. That it was the most affordable one at the time in their line. Um, and it was it was their, I believe it was their entry level pro introduction. But that changed my sound from being amateur to professional, because the songs that, when I did my Spaceman EP, I think we did 7 songs on Spaceman. I think 4 of those songs out of those 7, I think 4 of them got placed with sync placements, and that was all recorded. I think maybe even 5, almost all of them did, and we recorded that with the Apogee Duet. Um, and I would recommend looking into that. Another one that I use that I use on this my newest record, Love Motion Equinox, is the RME Fireface UCX. And I'll put images um on this video so you can see. But the RME Fireface UCX is literally right here behind me. Let me see if you can see that. See that? But that was a game changer. It's the same kind of quality as Apogee. It was just I liked it because had more ins and outs and things like that. And that ran me about 1,500. And then the interface, what I wanted to do a test. I got a cheap one from Tascam. I think it was a US. I want to say 1,800. I believe that might have been a one. I did. Let me confirm that. Tascam US 1,800. I bought that one. It was like, I don't know if it was like $350, but I said, you know what? Let me see. Let me see if I could make something pro on a cheaper interface and just use some techniques. And we did that. What I built my home studio, soundproof, fireproof home studio in Jersey. We built that, and then I just wanted to just test it. So I tested it on one song I did, and that song ended up being "Suit and Tie," which is to this date the most played song that I have. And we did that on a Tascam US 1,800. Now I don't use that. I just did a test to see what it would be like. But I would recommend like the Fireface, the Apogees, and things like that if you're trying to get that pro sound out of the gate. That's going to help you. I also have this one here. This is another Tascam. I like Tascam. This is a Tascam UH7000. Turn that around, and this has the it gives you a nice pro sound too. And it's very affordable. I think it's like 500. I would recommend, if to not go cheap on these things, like to save your money, and just save and invest in yourself, but save and plan for it. If you decide to get the Fireface or any something along that, along those lines, Apogee or whatever, it's going to run you probably like $1,600, $1,600. So just save your money until you can, build up your money to get that. So that's my recommendation on that. That's where I would start after you get your computer. Okay. The next thing is the microphones. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you here. Uh, for me, the microphones are tricky because in a very high and expensive mic may not sound great on your voice. You may sound great on a really low budget mic, but it just for some reason like your voice pops in it. I did a test when I first was shopping for microphones. And as you can see behind me, this is the SE 2200A 2. This is a good mic actually. So Amy Winehouse used that microphone for uh what's it, Fade to Black? Fade to Black. That was used on that record. I love that microphone. The only thing is I noticed it's a little sibilant. Um, so I use that as my B microphone, meaning uh for Love Motion Equinox, I use that for my harmonies, my background harmonies and background backing vocals. My workhorse microphone, I'm just gonna pull it out, is the Bluebird. When I was testing microphones, um, I went into Guitar Center and I tested 4 or 5 microphones, all by Blue. I just did research because I wanted something. I was looking at the Neumanns and all those microphones, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. I tested some, um, and it wasn't really. Listen, they're great mics, but some of the ones I tested weren't. It wasn't. I just wasn't really feeling them. So I tested the Blues. I did research on them, and they was like really sweet. I did the Dragonfly. Was it the? I'm sorry, was it the Firefly? Dragonfly? I tested a couple of them, and some of them were when I bought this. This was 500. It's like 250 now. But I was testing blue microphones from Blues from $1,000 and under. Um, and the Bluebird is what my voice sounded the best on. It was my sweet spot was this was finding my sweet spot. So when I did this, I was sang a verse, I think for Music Soul Child, because Music Soul Child is like probably one of the only artists I feel like is in the same tone as me. And I sing his songs very easily. So I sang a song from Soul Child, and this was hitting my sweet spot every single time. So I went with the Bluebird. But my recommendation would be like when you're looking for a microphone, test it out. Go to Guitar Center, Sam Ash, B&H, wherever you go, um, local music shop, and just see if you can just like literally like test each microphone in like a private room, sing, rap, whatever you do, and see what put headphones on or whatever, and see what microphone is capturing your sweet spot. That's what I did with the Blue, and it worked out well, man. And yeah, that'd be my recommendation. That's where I would start. If you're trying to look for that pro sound, um, audio interface, make sure you research, save, and get a good one. And then the microphone, and then a great DAW to record, and I think you're on your way. All of them are good now. When I first started, I was like comparing different ones and whatever. Some of them had limitations at the time. I'm not going to really go into that. All of them are good now. So find the one that works best for you, and that's it. I think we're out of time here. I don't even know how long I've been talking. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna end this episode now. And listen, this was fun for me. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to these things, but I love helping people as much as I can, especially independent artists, man. Um, Independent musicians trying to get on, or not even trying to get on. That's the wrong way of saying it, but just loves their passion, loves their craft, and wants to just sound better and be better. It's just so I love helping people when it comes to that. So yeah, hit me up if you got any questions or anything. And yeah, our next episode is gonna be a good one. I'm bringing on Steve again, and we're gonna be talking about recording engineers, like the differences between mix engineer, um, recording engineer, mastering engineer. it's a big one because a lot of people don't even know that there's a difference in engineering. So yeah, we're talking about that. It's gonna be fun on next episode. I thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you for allowing me to be completely transparent and being myself through these video podcasts. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, on to the next one. I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself. Be blessed.
Tuck's tight, party till midnight.